Have you ever found yourself lying awake in the middle of the night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why you're wide awake at 3 a.m. again? Maybe you glance at the clock, sigh, and think, here we go, another night of broken sleep. If this sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. In fact, waking up in the early hours is something so many older adults experience, and it can leave you feeling frustrated, tired, and even a little worried. You might start to wonder if something is wrong with your health, or if this is just another part of getting older that you have to accept. But what if I told you that there's more to this story, and that understanding why this happens could actually help you sleep better and feel healthier? Today, we're going to talk about why so many seniors find themselves waking up at 3 a.m., what it really means for your health, and what you can do about it. We'll look at the real reasons behind these early morning wake-ups, how they affect your body and mind, and most importantly, some practical steps you can take to get the restful sleep you deserve. So, if you're tired of tossing and turning, or just curious about what's really going on, you're in the right place. Let's start by talking about why this happens in the first place. You might remember a time when you could sleep through the night without any trouble, waking up refreshed and ready to start your day. But as we get older, our sleep patterns naturally change. It's not just you. This is something that happens to almost everyone as they age. The body's internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm, starts to shift. This clock controls when you feel sleepy and when you feel awake, and it's influenced by things like light, temperature, and even your daily habits. As we age, this clock can become a little less reliable, making it more likely that you'll wake up during the night, especially in those early morning hours. But why 3 a.m.? There's actually a reason for that. Around this time, your body temperature is at its lowest, and your levels of certain hormones, like melatonin, start to drop. Melatonin is the hormone that helps you feel sleepy, and as it decreases, your body can become more alert, even if you don't want it to be. On top of that, older adults often spend less time in the deep restorative stages of sleep. Instead, you might find yourself in lighter sleep, which makes it easier for small noises, aches, or even just a full bladder to wake you up. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so my body is changing. But does that mean I just have to accept waking up at 3 a.m. forever? The good news is, not necessarily. While some changes are a normal part of aging, there are things you can do to improve your sleep and feel more rested. But before we get to the solutions, it's important to understand what these wake-ups might be telling you about your health. Sometimes, waking up in the middle of the night is your body's way of sending you a message. For example, if you're waking up with a dry mouth, a pounding heart, or feeling anxious, it could be a sign that something else is going on. Conditions like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or even certain medications can all play a role. And let's not forget about the impact of stress. Worries about health, family, or finances can sneak into your mind at night, making it hard to fall back asleep. If you notice that you're waking up with your mind racing, or you're feeling more anxious than usual, it might be worth talking to your doctor. Sometimes, a simple change in medication or a new relaxation technique can make a big difference. But let's talk about what you can do right now, at home, to start improving your sleep. One of the most powerful things you can do is to create a bedtime routine that tells your body it's time to wind down. Think about what helps you relax. Maybe it's reading a favorite book, listening to soft music, or taking a warm bath. The key is to do the same things in the same order every night. This helps train your brain to recognize when it's time to sleep. Try to avoid screens like your phone or TV at least an hour before bed, since the blue light can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Another important step is to pay attention to your sleep environment. Is your bedroom cool, quiet, and comfortable? Sometimes small changes like adding blackout curtains, using a white noise machine, or investing in a supportive pillow can make a world of difference. If you find yourself waking up because you're too hot or too cold, try adjusting your bedding or pajamas. And if you're waking up to use the bathroom, consider limiting fluids in the hour or two before bed. But make sure you're still staying hydrated during the day. It's also helpful to keep a consistent sleep schedule. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This helps reinforce your body's natural rhythm and can make it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep through the night. If you do wake up at 3 a.m., try not to stress about it. Lying in bed worrying about not sleeping can actually make it harder to drift off again. Instead, try a simple relaxation technique like deep breathing or gentle stretching. Sometimes just focusing on your breath can help quiet your mind and ease you back into sleep. Let's take a closer look at some of the other reasons you might find yourself awake in the early hours and what you can do to gently guide your body back into a restful sleep. One thing that often surprises people is just how much our daily habits can affect our nights. For example, what you eat and drink during the day can have a big impact on your sleep quality. Caffeine, for instance, can linger in your system for hours. Even if you only have a cup of coffee in the morning, some people become more sensitive to caffeine as they age, and it can still affect your ability to stay asleep. The same goes for alcohol. While a glass of wine might help you feel sleepy at first, it can actually disrupt your sleep later in the night, making those 3 a.m. wake-ups more likely. It's not just about what you drink either. Heavy or spicy meals close to bedtime can cause indigestion or heartburn, which might wake you up or make it hard to fall back asleep. If you notice that you're waking up with a burning feeling in your chest or throat, it might be worth looking at your evening meals. Try to keep dinner light and finish eating at least 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed. If you get hungry later, a small snack like a banana or a handful of nuts is usually gentle on the stomach and can even help promote sleep. Another factor that can play a big role in your sleep is physical activity. You might have heard that exercise is good for your health, but did you know it can also help you sleep better? Regular movement during the day, whether it's a walk around the block, some gentle stretching, or even gardening, can help your body feel more ready for rest at night. The key is to find activities you enjoy and can do safely. Just try not to exercise too close to bedtime, as it can leave you feeling too energized to fall asleep. Let's not forget about the emotional side of things. Life can be stressful at any age, but sometimes worries and anxieties seem to grow louder in the quiet of the night. Maybe you're thinking about your health, your family, or just the changes that come with getting older. It's completely normal to have these thoughts, but if they're keeping you awake, it might help to find ways to manage stress before bedtime. Some people find comfort in writing down their thoughts in a journal, while others enjoy gentle meditation or prayer. Even just talking to a friend or loved one about what's on your mind can help lighten the load. If you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., try not to look at the clock. Watching the minutes tick by can make you feel more anxious and make it even harder to fall back asleep. Instead, focus on relaxing your body one muscle at a time. Start with your toes and slowly work your way up to your head, letting each part of your body relax and sink into the bed. This simple technique can help distract your mind from worries and make it easier to drift off again. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, you might still find yourself awake in the middle of the night. If you've been lying in bed for more than 20 minutes and just can't get comfortable, it's okay to get up and do something calming. Keep the lights low and try a quiet activity, like reading a book or listening to soft music. Avoid anything too stimulating, like watching TV or scrolling on your phone. When you start to feel sleepy again, head back to bed and give yourself another chance to rest. It's also important to remember that everyone's sleep needs are different. Some people feel great with 6 hours of sleep, while others need 8 or more to feel their best. The key is to pay attention to how you feel during the day. If you're waking up at 3 a.m. but still feel rested and energetic, your body might be getting the sleep it needs, just in a different pattern than before. But if you're feeling tired, irritable, or having trouble with memory and focus, it might be time to look a little closer at your sleep habits and talk to your doctor. Speaking of doctors, don't be afraid to bring up your sleep concerns at your next appointment. Sometimes, waking up in the night can be a sign of an underlying health issue like sleep apnea, depression, or even certain medications. Your doctor can help you figure out if there's a medical reason for your sleep troubles and work with you to find solutions. It's always better to ask questions and get the support you need rather than trying to tough it out on your own. As we continue this conversation, keep in mind that improving your sleep is a journey, not a race. Small changes can add up over time, and it's never too late to start taking better care of your sleep and your health. Whether it's adjusting your bedtime routine, making your bedroom more comfortable, or finding new ways to relax, every step you take brings you closer to the restful nights you deserve. Let's keep this conversation going, because there's still so much to share about how you can reclaim your nights and wake up feeling more refreshed. One thing that often gets overlooked is the role of light in your daily routine. Our bodies are naturally tuned to the rising and setting of the sun, and as we age, we can become even more sensitive to changes in light. If you spend a lot of time indoors, especially during the day, your body might not be getting the signals it needs to keep your sleep-wake cycle on track. Try to get outside for a little while each morning, even if it's just to sit by a sunny window with your cup of tea. Natural light helps reset your internal clock and can make it easier to fall asleep at night and stay asleep until morning. On the flip side, bright lights in the evening can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime. This is especially true for the blue light that comes from TVs, tablets, and smartphones. If you enjoy watching a show before bed, try turning down the brightness or switching to a night mode if your device has one. Even better, consider swapping out screen time for something more calming, like listening to music or doing a puzzle. These small changes can help your body wind down and get ready for sleep. Another thing to consider is how your medications might be affecting your sleep. Many older adults take medicine for things like blood pressure, heart health, or pain, and some of these can have side effects that make it harder to sleep through the night. If you've noticed a change in your sleep since starting a new medication, or if you're taking several different pills, it's worth having a chat with your doctor or pharmacist. They can help you figure out if your medicine is playing a role and suggest adjustments if needed. Sometimes, even changing the time you take your medication can make a difference. Let's also talk about the importance of comfort. As we get older, our bodies can become more sensitive to things like temperature, noise, and even the feel of our sheets. If you're waking up because you're too hot or too cold, try layering your bedding so you can easily adjust during the night. Soft, breathable fabrics can help keep you comfortable, and a supportive mattress and pillow can ease aches and pains that might wake you up. If noise is a problem, maybe you live near a busy street or have a partner who snores, consider using earplugs or a white noise machine to create a more peaceful environment. Sometimes, the reason for those 3 a.m. wake-ups is as simple as needing to use the bathroom. This is a common part of aging, but there are ways to manage it. Try to limit drinks in the hour or two before bed, and make sure you're emptying your bladder right before you turn in for the night. If you're getting up several times, or if you're worried about falling, keep a nightlight in the hallway or bathroom to help you see where you're going. And if you notice any changes, like pain or difficulty urinating, don't hesitate to mention it to your doctor. Sometimes, these symptoms can be a sign of a treatable condition. Let's not forget the power of relaxation. Sometimes, our bodies are ready for sleep, but our minds just won't quiet down. If you find yourself lying awake, try a simple breathing exercise. Breathe in slowly through your nose, hold for a moment, and then breathe out gently through your mouth. Focus on the feeling of your breath moving in and out. If your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Just gently bring your attention back to your breath. Some people find it helpful to imagine a peaceful place, like a quiet beach or a cozy cabin in the woods. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to let go of worries and drift back to sleep. It's also important to be gentle with yourself. Sleep changes are a normal part of aging, and it's okay to have a restless night now and then. Try not to judge yourself or get frustrated if you wake up at 3 a.m. Instead, remind yourself that you're doing your best and that every small step you take is helping your body and mind. If you need a nap during the day, that's perfectly fine. Just try to keep it short and not too late in the afternoon, so it doesn't interfere with your nighttime sleep. As you work on these habits, pay attention to how you feel. Are you waking up feeling more rested? Do you have more energy during the day? Sometimes it takes a little time to notice changes, so be patient with yourself. And remember, you're not alone in this. So many older adults are facing the same challenges, and by sharing your experiences and learning from each other, you can find new ways to support your health and well-being. As we continue, I want you to remember that every night is a new opportunity to care for yourself, and even small changes can add up to a big difference over time. Sometimes, the key to better sleep is simply listening to your body and giving yourself permission to rest, rather than fighting against those early morning wake-ups. If you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., instead of feeling frustrated, try to see it as a gentle nudge from your body to slow down, breathe, and check in with yourself. Maybe you need a few minutes of quiet reflection, or perhaps your body is asking for a little more comfort or care. One thing that can be incredibly helpful is creating a sense of routine and predictability in your evenings. Our bodies thrive on rhythm, and having a regular bedtime routine can signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. This doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as making a cup of herbal tea, reading a few pages of a favorite book, or listening to calming music. The important thing is to do these activities in the same order each night, so your body starts to associate them with sleep. Over time, this can make it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep, even if you do wake up in the middle of the night. Another gentle practice to consider is gratitude. It might sound simple, but taking a moment before bed to think about something you're grateful for can help shift your mind away from worries and toward a more peaceful state. Maybe it's a phone call with a friend, a beautiful sunset, or just the comfort of your favorite blanket. Focusing on these small joys can help ease anxiety and create a sense of calm that carries you into sleep. If you're someone who enjoys connecting with others, don't underestimate the power of social interaction for your sleep and overall well-being. Spending time with friends, family, or even neighbors can lift your mood and help you feel more relaxed at night. If you can't see loved ones in person, a phone call or video chat can be just as meaningful. Feeling connected and supported can ease loneliness and reduce the kind of nighttime worries that keep you awake. It's also worth mentioning that sometimes sleep challenges can be a sign that your body needs a little extra support. If you're dealing with chronic pain, arthritis, or other health conditions, managing those symptoms can make a big difference in your sleep quality. Don't hesitate to talk to your healthcare provider about ways to make yourself more comfortable at night. There are many options available, from gentle stretches and warm baths to medication adjustments and physical therapy. The goal is to find what works best for you so you can rest more easily. For some people, sleep troubles are linked to changes in mood, such as depression or anxiety. These feelings are nothing to be ashamed of, and they're more common than you might think, especially as we get older and face new challenges. If you notice that you're feeling down, hopeless, or anxious more often, or if you've lost interest in things you used to enjoy, reach out for help. Talking to a counselor, therapist, or trusted friend can make a world of difference, and there are many effective treatments available. As you work on improving your sleep, try to be patient with yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight, and it's normal to have ups and downs along the way. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it may seem. Maybe you slept an extra half hour, or you felt more relaxed when you woke up. These are victories worth acknowledging, and they show that you're moving in the right direction. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've talked about. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't just a random annoyance. It's your body's way of communicating with you. By paying attention to your routines, your environment, and your emotional well-being, you can start to understand what your body needs and make changes that support better sleep. Remember, you have the power to create a restful, peaceful night for yourself, no matter your age. If you found any of these tips helpful, or if you have your own experiences to share, I'd love to hear from you. Your story might be just what someone else needs to hear to feel less alone on their own sleep journey. Please share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. I read every one, and your feedback means so much to me. If you enjoyed this video and want more practical advice on health, sleep, and living your best life after 60, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us reach more people and create even more helpful content for our wonderful community. Here's to peaceful nights, brighter mornings, and the confidence that you can take charge of your sleep and your health. No matter what time you wake up, remember that you are strong, resilient, and deserving of rest. Here's to living your best life at any age.